One of you asked me to cover the United Nations General Assembly in New York, so here we go. Trump pretty much set the tone right away. When he walked into the building, the escalator stalled, and then when he tried to deliver his speech, the teleprompter broke. This is classic United Nations theatrics, but the symbolism was pretty strong there because Trump's speech tore into the United Nations generally, he tore into migration, he mocked quite a few of America's traditional allies in Europe for their climate policies, and he didn't speak too much on Gaza or Ukraine, but after his speech, he basically did a 180-degree shift on Ukraine, but that's another story. He also said that the United Nations is irrelevant. For Trump, that's actually no surprise. American foreign policy is made unilaterally, meaning on its own. It doesn't necessarily rely on multilateral fora like the United Nations. So while the UN is still an important platform for the United States, it's very easy for Trump to reject it. Other countries actually rely on this forum as a platform. Then we heard from Netanyahu. That was the next day. He called Israel's 12-day war on Iran a huge success, and he claimed that Tehran's missile defenses were neutralized during the war, and he also pointed out Israel's efforts to degrade Iran's proxy network across the Middle East. But delegates walked out before Netanyahu could even start speaking, so there were only a few people left in the room, and that's a pretty stark sign of Israel's growing isolation on the international stage. We also heard from Pakistan's representative. He used his slot to attack India, and of course India hit back and accused Pakistan of glorifying terrorism. That's the kind of back and forth that is so typical of the UN when it becomes a stage for long-term rivals to sharpen their narratives. We also heard from Ireland. They basically rebuked Israel's Gaza campaign, and China, perhaps the biggest surprise here was them pledging their support for the UN and promising to cut their emissions. China is one of the, if not the biggest, carbon dioxide emitter on the planet right now. And it also tried to present itself as a champion of multilateral order in contrast to Trump's message. So what's the takeaway here? The United Nations General Assembly is not a place where wars and peace are made. It's a pulse, however, on the world order today. And it's a place where leaders can test their doctrines, contest legitimacy, and even fight narrative wars in front of the rest of the world. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Mackinder Insights for more.